My name is Colleen Williams, and I'm a program manager. I'm actually on the Edge product group. So if you saw me answering some questions in the chat and I used the collective we, it is actually coming from the Edge team. So I'm on what's called the Enterprise and Security team. And so we build all of the enterprise and security features. I'm going to talk to you today about what's cool in Edge. You can follow me on Twitter. I ask some questions, we answer questions there. You will see me post a lot of pictures of my dog, and I sometimes talk about Edge as well. So thank you. All right, so I just wanted to have a shout out because this is kind of a big thing. In 2018, we announced that we were going to be moving to the Chromium engine. In the past couple of years, you know, it's been about the previews and shipping and getting it out there, and so we did turn one year old in January, just a couple of weeks ago. And so what's cool here about this this tradition is us sending cakes to each other. And we did get a cake from the Chromium folks. Welcome to the Chromium team. I have been on the team since IE9, and so there's been a lot of cake eaten over the past few years. What I want to talk about today is a couple of things. So how Edge can benefit fit all of your needs for both personal and work. The browser is the #1 app used in the OS, and I believe Julie referenced this. We spend 60% of our time in a browser, so it really does need to be good. In 2020, we learned a lot of things. You know, the workday expanded by at least 3 hours. Lunch hours became non-existent. Weekends have been shortened due to work. We've all found ourselves living at work, and our work machine is always available and in front of us. And we saw that personal browsing increased on work machines. And so the features that I'm really talking to you today is really about how Edge fits all those features for both personal and work, and keeps users productive and efficient during that time. So starting with kind of the beginning of, you know, you open Edge and then what do you do? And I saw a lot of chat about, you know, signing in and syncing. And so I think this is a great place to start. So signing into Edge and why that's important and why that should be cared about. I understand that there's some compliance and security issues, not issues, I apologize, policies in some companies that don't allow this, but it does help with keeping users productive. They can start by syncing browsing data across the devices, browser to website SSO, and access to protected enterprise content. We've got a work dashboard available that has all of the Office materials. So if you're an M365 client, all of the information in all of your Office, you know, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, all that stuff. And then Microsoft Search is available. So we want to make sure that you don't have to leave the browser when you're doing searching for work-related, you know, items, trying to find a coworker or trying to find some other information. And I'll go through each of these features. All right, multiple profiles is available. So this is where you have the ability to have both a work and a personal account. We found that this was pretty exciting for a lot of, you know, consultants. You have multiple tenants, so you can have different profiles set up for each one. You don't have to have different browsers at the bottom of your page, your taskbar, to trying to decide, you know, which one you're using for work or your consultant job or what have you. So you don't need to manage more than one browser. From a profile perspective, and you can keep your personal and work lives separate. We also introduced automatic profile switching, and my next slide talks about that. You can pick a default profile for external links. You can open up links in any profile. And then, of course, with WIP, Windows Information Protection and Conditional Access, you can ensure work happens in the work profile through those two security features. I will be talking about security in just a little while, so I will go into depth there on that. As an admin, you can enforce that users use enterprise content only in their work profile, and that's where that WIP and conditional access come in. So automatic profile switching. So this helps you get to your work content easily while using multiple profiles. When you're using a personal profile and navigate to a work site, you'll see that the prompt prompts you to switch to your work profile to access that site, and you don't have to, re-auth back into it. You can choose the work profile you want to switch to. The website will simply open in your work profile as this GIF shows you. Something that that is coming soon. So I've weaved in things that are coming soon in the talk rather than waiting till the end. Multiple profiles is coming to PWAs, progressive web apps. If you install the same site or PWA on more than one Edge profile, the profile switcher is available. This is an experiment right now. And so if you don't see it yet, it is coming. I believe it's available in the Canary build. The Canary build, this was touched on a little bit earlier, that is updated daily. So if you absolutely want to have the freshest and the newest features and you want to update daily, that's great. Dev is updated weekly. Beta is updated every 6 weeks, and stable is updated every 6 weeks. So you'll see a lot of experimentations in the Canary and Dev channels, and we take a look at the features there and the feedback and making sure that it's stable, and we're answering feedback before we move anything into beta and then later on stable. Work dashboard. So the enterprise new tab page, this allows users to access recent files, pin sites, shared documents. I think we've all been in the position where we have a coworker, who has the Excel spreadsheet that we need to go update, and you need to go access that. So if it's shared with you, you can go find it. You don't have to wait for that person to reply in email or Teams or whatever it may be. You can even search the intranet with Microsoft Search in your new tab, and I'll go ahead and Microsoft Search is next. So I'll talk about that. On the upper left, you'll see this these dots here. This is the app launcher, so that's where you can go and quickly, if you need to open up a brand new PowerPoint or Word document. It is customizable. For enterprise, focus is on bringing, so this is all powered by Microsoft Graph. And that is pretty important for enterprises to understand the security behind that. Enterprises can replace the default new tab page with your own or a blank page. And as of version 86, we do have the option to replace the default image. So you can see that this is the image here. If you have a corporate image you want to use, and you can apply your corporate image in your corporate logo. And so this is a blended Office new tab page experience. Keeps people right here. There's some areas up at the top here that you can personalize. If you want to see news based upon certain areas, you can go ahead and personalize all of that. Microsoft Search, so this is available with an M365 subscription and is on by default. So no additional configuration. This is where you can see files, sites, people, groups, conversations, and admins can customize the experience with bookmarks. This is your work information. This is not shared back to Microsoft. This is it's powered again by the graph. You can search the intranet and intranet at the same time. For instance, Daisy Phillips here, this is your coworker Daisy, and you can see the work tab with the lock screen. So that's your work information, and only results from your company appear here. It is easier to scan if you're trying to find Daisy's phone number. You can see her organization, office, when we all sat in offices, you can see where she was located. And then you can narrow your results to people, groups. So you can see that all on the left-hand side here. Getting a shout out from Julie on the Microsoft Search. Really appreciate it, Julie. Thank you so much. All of the topics that have been talked about today, the team really enjoys hearing how some of the love, especially on IE mode and some of the other features. And so thank you for that. I will go ahead and share that information back with the team. Sidebar search. So this is fairly new. So you can stay in the flow and search for words. So this replaces Ask Cortana in Edge Legacy. So you right click and you search. A side panel will open up with the search results. No need to navigate away from the current page. So you can go ahead and continue to remain productive and efficient while doing that. Sync has been brought up quite a bit, more about the ESR and GDPR, and I did post in the privacy white paper that we wrote. We had two outstanding items regarding sync. While we had shipped syncing, settings and favorites and extensions, history and tab sync is now available. And so that rounds out the syncing availability from a profile perspective. So to enable that, you go to enable history and open tabs, you go to the edge settings. This is that 3 bullets up there, profile, sync, and then turn on the toggles. And of course, we have group policies to go through all of to turn on what you want to turn on and whatnot. I am the odd person out today. I will not be talking about group policies. I do feel that has been covered. We have over 250 group policies and counting. We add policies based upon feedback that we get from enterprises about what you want to manage. I think in IE we had over 1,600 policies. I think we can all agree that might have been a bit much. And so the policies that we have are all based upon feedback that we get from enterprises. So collections. This is coming up a little bit more and more from an enterprise perspective, and we're starting to get asked about, hey, what does it look like if we want to preset collections for our users? And it's something we're investigating. And so we'd love to know more if that is of interest to anybody. So this allows to easily manage sites, web contents, and projects in Edge. We have added in being able to share create a collection with OneNote. So the M365 space, it's all coordinated and looped in there. And then you can pick up where you left off. Collections, I think it's a pretty cool feature. It makes things easier. And again, like I said, I would love to know if enterprises would like, to investigate collections more and getting that set up for your users. Another top feature that we get a lot of feedback on about vertical tabs. So, tab management, I think we can all agree is something that we fight every day. And with vertical tabs available, you click on the left-hand side of the address bar, click the rectangular box as you can see. This is available in 88, which we shipped last week as a CFR, a controlled feature rollout. So it's not quite at 100%. If you don't see it yet in build 88, you're not quite in there yet, but just give it a couple weeks and it will be there. So this has been a top requested feature, something the team has been working on, and I think really helps with efficiency. Smart copy. So this is currently available in the Canary and Dev build. So this makes it easier to select, copy, and paste the exact content you want from the web, and you preserve the format. I think we've all been subject to trying to copy and paste, and the format gets all lost, and we have to take a deep breath and find our happy place and reformat. So this should really be helpful to you when you're trying to, move quickly and copying and pasting. Immersive Reader, we've had this in Edge for a while, but I do want to make a call out to this. Reading is the the #1 feature that we all do, regarding Edge, and accessible or a browser, and having accessibility for everyone is important. So you can click on the Immersive Reader icon. That's that little book there with that little volume control, and then you can choose the text size, text spacing, choose different themes and colors, and so this is readily available in the web pages. So you can, again, the icon is up at the toolbar area. Another feature that's fairly new, this is sleeping tabs. So this boosts browser performance by improving memory and CPU usage. You can see the tabs, go to sleep if you haven't utilized them, and so it releases the memory. And performance is a battle that browser vendors fight every day, and users talk about, and really wants to know more about. So it reduces memory usage by up to 32% and also increases your battery life. As Sleeping Tab uses 37% less CPU on average. There are group policies available to manage sleeping tabs. So if you want it to be, you can choose the, as you can see here in the demo, you can choose how long you want to go ahead and keep those tabs before they time out, 15 minutes up to 2 hours. Password monitor. So this came up a little bit earlier. So this notifies users if any of your saved passwords have been found in a third-party breach. We do have a research paper on this that discusses all about the security of Password Monitor and answers, what is it that you're doing. So Password Monitor, this is all done while Microsoft doesn't learn the user's password. So we don't have that information. So it ensures the privacy and security of the user's passwords, which means that neither Microsoft nor any other party can learn the passwords while they're being monitored. And so I wanted to stress that is available. Password Monitor came out in build 88 as well as a CFR. So that is rolling out. But please take a look at the research paper. I think you'll find a lot of great information in there and will help answer privacy and security questions. To describe the feature a little bit more in detail, when any of your passwords saved to the browser matches those seen in any leaked credentials, will notify you and prompt you to update the password. We do have documentation on ak.ms/password monitor. A lot of the documentation that has been referenced today, you can find ak.ms/deploy edge at the bottom left there. I actually own the documentation for enterprises, so if there's something you would like to see or something that doesn't quite make sense, I think we're always looking to make it better and more more accessible to folks and more explicit in understanding what our features are doing and why. Password generator, this is also fairly new. So this we offer an ability to generate a password. So when you're signing up for a new account or when you're changing an existing password. So you can see, look for the browser suggested password drop down in the password field. When selected, it will automatically save to the browser and sync across your devices. Okay, PDFs were brought up earlier. So lots of great improvements in PDF and Edge. So we've improved reading and navigation. So table of contents, page views, read aloud, inking and annotation, that was a top feature. 95% of users open PDFs for basic reading and navigation. And so you can see all of the work that we've done to make that easier. Some folks brought up, in schooling environment. So you can now add text comments to your PDF files in addition to highlighting and inking. All of this comes with support with keyboards, screen readers, and high contrast accessibility. So we're wanting to make sure that these features that are coming are accessible. Things that we are working on from a PDF perspective, we are still working on, being able to digitally sign a PDF. Right now in beta, you can view and validate certificate-based digital signatures, so coming to stable fairly soon. Microsoft Information Protection, that's available. That's a security, and it's an overall security umbrella within the Microsoft family if you have certain subscriptions. So that is available from a protected file content that you can take a look. We've also, we are working on adding text boxes to PDF files, and Outlook and File Explorer Preview have been top asks for feedback. All right, so what's next? What do you want to see? So from a roadmap perspective, I certainly could list out a ton of things that we're doing, but when I was trying to do that, I was kind of all over the place. I've got enterprise, we've got features, security stuff. And so I'd like to understand, what you want to see. Of course, we're working on additional IE mode features. I did put in the chat that a policy will be coming out soon that will disable IE11 standalone, but not affect IE mode. So that you'll be able to, hide IE11, if you will, to decrease that muscle memory of users who like to click that IE icon. There is increasing work that we're doing on managing the enterprise mode site list easier. Lots of great demonstrations on the enterprise mode site list. All of the features that I mentioned today, we're continuing to work on, and as you know with software, you build the feature, you're not done, right? You get feedback, you make it better, you address the feedback that's coming in. So if you have anything that you want to go see, we do have, from an enterprise perspective, in the M365 roadmap If you search for Microsoft Edge, you will see all of the features that we're working on and potential dates of when those will land. And like I said, reach out to me if there's a question that you have and you want to see something more. And just as a reminder, from an all-up perspective, yes, I'm from the product group, but we have a lot of teams within Microsoft that are here to help. So we've got our Aperture program. So if a site or an app works in IE11 standalone or supported versions of Chrome or Edge, we absolutely think and it should work in Edge on Chromium. If it doesn't, you can contact the Aperture team at no additional cost, and they can help you through the code, even your internal stuff, even your line of business apps. We can help try to narrow down what's happening to get it to work in Edge on Chromium. We've got the Fast Track program. So this helps, get deployments of Edge into your environment. And then Julie touched upon this. The beta and stable channels are supported through Premier, your Premier contract. Edge is already included in your Premier contract. You don't have to buy a separate contract for Edge. And so want to make sure that you are very aware. Yes, Julie, I thought you worked on the Fast Track team, but I needed a little bit more coffee before I said it out loud, just in case I got that wrong. So that is my whirlwind tour. Of course, there's a lot of features I didn't mention. I was really trying to focus on, productivity, efficiency, helping your users, throughout the workday. But again, we have lots of features, that aren't necessarily needed throughout the workday, right? You're sitting at home. Like I said, personal browsing has increased on work machines. We've got the coupons and the shopping features that landed in the November timeframe. Lots of other great features that are really beneficial to anyone, no matter what device you are on and what you are trying to do.